Some of the other ones are still really small too, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get to interact with them overall. I don't think there's anybody flying around right now. Alright.
How's this one doing? Is this one okay? Or just sleeping?
Yeah, he's just sleeping. This is
Oh.
a Eurasian eagle owl.
Oh, look at that little one. He looks little character.
We have him in these brooders.
Oh,
You can pet him, but
so
you really
cute.
can't distinctively tell that it's an owl.
No, you
know?
can't.
Oh my goodness.
We
that's
interact
so
with them and
neat.
handle them and feed these birds because these birds are being raised to be used for education. The ones that we raise to release
Oh, it's hands.
into the wild, we would either have a parent that would take care of them, or we would feed them with puppets and things of that sort, like that eagle puppet up there. And that way, then they're raised for release.
I see.
And so there's nothing here that tells you this is the largest owl in the world.
No.
So,
That's
look in there.
It's so neat to-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an eagle.
Oh, how
That's
cute.
another. Look at this guy. He hasn't opened his eyes yet.
So cute. They're like little
I think this is a falcon. A peregrine falcon.
Does he look like a little character?
Yeah. Yeah.
So cute. His little eyes.
Yeah, well, Dr. Seuss's dad worked at a zoo, so he
Oh, that's so
that's
cute.
probably where he came up with all those goofy.
Oh my goodness. Look at this.
Oh my gosh!
That's so amazing.
Baby.
It's
It's an eagle owl. Oh my gosh!
What is this?
This is an eagle owl.
Now can I pet him?
Yeah, you pet him. Thanks for asking. And just fluffed, isn't he? And we take them home with us, and we'll let them hop around here. We'll let them hop around our houses, we want them to get as used to people as possible. Now, once they get their adult feathers, all those smooth feathers, then we never touch them. None of our birds are subject to getting petted. We don't invade their personal space once they're adults. But this helps to get them very, very used to us at this young age.
It's just like,
And we'll have them hopping around, sitting on our lap, watching TV.
oh,
That way, when somebody comes up in a wheelchair or with a stroller, or they're at a fair or something, and a horse walks by, a police officer on a horse or something comes by, they're not going to freak because they've ever since they've been young, they've been conditioned to be around people and their weirdness.
I love that one. That one's just so cute.
Yeah.
Just laying out.
He's
It's
chill.
like,
Yeah.
just
And
relaxing.
and their back end's a little heavy. They're just basically all they do is eat and poop. Right.
Just like babies.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so we'll use this here to feed the birds and things like that, and so that way they don't come in contact with us. And then anytime food's associated, we don't talk and things like that. So them hearing us right now is no big deal, but when food's associated, then hearing us is. But these guys, we don't mind it. That's why they're open, because none of these are wild animals. This is a wild one. This is a wild barred owl. He came into rehab yesterday, and we checked him out. He didn't have any injuries. We try to tell people to leave them alone, and their parents will take care of them and everything else, because they don't fly out of their cages. Out of their nest. They get out on a branch and then they fall onto the ground, and they're usually on the ground for a week or two. But if people find them, they're like, "Oh, the poor baby!" And then the parents will search for them. The parents will search for them 2 to 3 weeks. That's as long as the FBI searched for Sean Hornback out in the woods and stuff. And so, their parents will search for them for 2 to 3 weeks. And so it's very similar. You take them away from their parents, and so we constantly have to fight the battle of stopping people from bringing them in.
Sure.
And there's always been birds on the ground out there, and most of them will survive. This is called an auger buzzard. It's a type of hawk, a lot like a red-tailed hawk. Yeah.
He's so cute.
Are they actually making noise?
They're adorable.
He's just sort of letting us know that he wants some food. And they also will spit up some of the bones that they don't digest, things like that. But he's getting excited because he thinks we might be feeding him in a little bit. Some of these birds we will sell to zoos around the world to help fund our programs of release. We've released over 300 peregrine falcons. We've released over 1,000 bald eagles, over 800 barn owls. So some of those birds that we hatch, we also sell to reputable zoos and such. Most zoos will want the largest owl in the world to be on exhibit and things like that. And it's much better that they get it from us than get it from the wild. And then secondly, it helps us to fund the release programs that we have for the endangered ones.
What do you feed them?
Rats and mice, a natural diet.
Okay.
You know, some zoos will feed. There actually is a canned bird of prey diet, and some zoos will feed that. But we feel that a natural diet helps with.
So you'll actually blend?
No, we'll dice it up.
The baby?
No, these guys will eat small chunks. You see in here, this guy has some cut up chunks. Their parents would tear. They'd bring a dead animal up to the nest and then they tear off the chunks.
Sure.
They don't regurgitate, you know, a mush.
Maybe.
They'll do that in the